Welcome to the Boisterous Brothers. I'm George Rockall-Schmidt, and I'm here with Damian Benedict, who's looking very tired today. How are you, Damian? Very tired, very tired.
Always tired. Tired and fed up. Always. No, but happy.
But
tired
yes.
and fed up.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah.
But tired. But happy.
Yeah.
But happy.
Yeah. It's because we did some drinking last week, and oh no.
Too
many Babychams.
Yeah, definitely. I can't bounce back like I used to.
I know, oh God. I'm waiting for that. How many Babychams have you ever drunk? Have you ever had a Babycham?
Maybe. Is that. No, I'm thinking of Bucks Fizz. Champagne with orange juice. I don't know what
That's Buck Fizz.
I've never had a Babycham.
Baby champagne.
Babycham. Well, please do elaborate. I mean,
so what they do is you get different types of Babycham. The cheaper Babycham is like the fourth or fifth press, but the first Babycham is the first press. So if you get the first press Babycham, it's really good because you get the first press babies.
Right. Okay.
But if you got fourth or fifth, you just get the sludge.
Well,
the brain detail.
For a second, I really thought I might have been. This might have been informative in any kind of way. I might have learned something new, but what did I expect?
I don't know. We'll have to look at what Babycham is. We'll come back to you on the second part about what it is. We'll get the researcher on there.
I don't think R&D is going to pull their weight this week.
What would our researcher be if we had a researcher? Dominic. No. Monica. I feel it's like one of those names.
Yeah.
Dominic or Monica.
Reginald, I quite like.
Reginald, that's like their dad.
I don't care.
Dominic and Monica, yeah.
I just like the name Reginald.
Dominic and Monica, sometimes they come in with a note from Reginald saying that they can't do something today.
Reginald sounds like their supervisor, right? That kind of works in my head, you know?
Yeah. He also sounds like someone who was like a captain in 1950s uniform when there were all these like scares of saucer men coming down and stuff like that.
He had a very, very austere moustache.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all get down with.
It was a pencil moustache, but like even now, it's not a moustache you would laugh at. Like it immediately commands not just respect, but quite a bit of fear.
Yeah.
I remember I was walking around.
He still has his, regulation haircut.
That's right, yeah. I mean, and he doesn't cut it anymore. He hasn't cut it in 20 years. It's just disciplined into staying that length. I remember I was walking around Tesco's once. Tesco's is a big supermarket for anyone who isn't from the UK or is from the future after Tesco's has folded. Tesco's has become Tekken. And I remember seeing this like bright red man who must have been 60 years old. He had jet black hair, which was obviously dyed. He was in a pinstripe suit, which looked like something out of Fat Sam's Speakeasy or something. And he had a pencil mustache. And honestly, he looked fucking hilarious, but he also looked utterly boss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he could have knocked you out, put him under your arm and just made a log cabin out of you or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you didn't laugh at him then? You played...
I did, but like this. Kind of like, with my temples throbbing and everything. So we always start Boisterous Brothers with a anecdote. And
yes, yeah, and it's my turn. I'm going to talk about my old boss at a pub that I used to work at a couple of years ago. And
Reginald.
I suppose I should give him a name. So yeah, Reginald, I think.
No, we've got to differentiate.
All right, Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already run out of ideas.
He's gone from a 1950s sergeant major to a very cool 6'4" black man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a southern accent.
Yeah, he's none of those things. He's actually a large ginger gay.
Okay.
It is kind of part of the story.
It's pertinent.
Yeah.
Right.
It was.
If anyone's ever offended by anything Damian ever says, just remember that he is gay.
Yeah, very gay.
For me.
That's what you tell yourself anyway. Every night before you go to bed, please.
Please, Damian, be gay for me.
So I think he was, mid-late 40s and something like that. And
do you know his bra size?
No, I don't, but it would have been substantial. He was, as I say, a larger fellow.
Right.
But he was a lovely bloke, and I got to know him quite a bit of the 3 or 4 months that I worked at this place.
Right. And what did you work as?
I was a chef kind of. It was pub chef at that point.
Right,
so...
you were a chef in a pub.
Yeah,
it was like a gastro pub.
No, not at all.
No,
it was
okay,
just pub.
Right.
And I learned quite a bit about him. He had three kids. The oldest of which was probably about our age, something like that, in the military.
So mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out quite late in his life. he just kind of left a sort of marriage and whatnot. And yeah, as I say, he was estranged from his oldest son. He kind of had a bit of a hard rap coming out when he did, being a homosexual and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I didn't hear what I'm going to tell you, which was kind of shocking. It didn't come from me, but it came from another guy that I worked with in that pub that he'd worked with for quite a few years.
Right.
Who started as an apprentice, so he took under his wing a little bit and really.
So they really knew each other.
Yeah, they were quite close. But this was after my boss kind of left, just before I did, and this other guy told me the story about.
So Reggie left.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like a few weeks before I did,
he'd been there for ages.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Is it interesting why he left, or he just left?
No, he just went. He found a better
else.
job. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It wasn't scandalous. By
yeah. Right. Scandalous.
But this guy, he told me that when he came out and his marriage was, he was getting his divorce. He used to go dogging quite a bit.
Right. Maybe you should explain what that is.
Basically, you just kind of hook up with a stranger in like essentially the forest on your car.
Yeah, it's usually a parking lot, isn't it? Like you drive there to the middle of nowhere. It's like a parking lot on the side of a motorway.
Yeah, it's just anonymous sex basically. And he picked someone up. I don't know how the shit went down, where he met him in a bar or wherever.
Yeah.
2 days later, when he was picking up his 15-year-old son from school, that he saw him again. And he was essentially one of his son's classmates. Yeah.
Oh,
he had absolutely
shit.
no idea, and he
fuck, and he was 15 then.
Yeah. He was underage, and like he absolutely shat his fucking pants.
Yeah, I fucking bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, you'd go to prison for that, wouldn't you?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Oh my fuck.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, the guy obviously swore me to fucking secrecy. I mean, I quite liked.
And here we are.
Yeah. Well, we're keeping it anonymous,
Yeah.
Reggie. That totally wasn't his name. But oh my god, yeah, my heart absolutely fucking sank when I found that out.
Good God. Yeah. Well, I suppose it's an honest mistake, isn't it? I guess
I guess, but what was my concern is not that like what Reggie was doing per se, but like the 15-year-old that was like that kind of.
Who? Somebody must have dropped him off in the car.
I guess I don't know the specifics of how they met. I don't know if it was in a bar or anything like that.
It wasn't a Grinder app or something. Grindr.
No, I think it's a bit before Grinder.
Right.
This must have been like 5 or 6 years ago, I think.
There you go. Not to kind of get too heavy, but obviously, as you know, and again, this isn't like my heart bleeding story or anything, but as you know, I write a lot. And I've written a series of unpublished novels, which I'm hoping to kind of publish in 2017.
Scores of them.
Yes. Teenage heartthrob love stories. No, I've got like, I think maybe 3 I'm aiming to publish in 2017 on Amazon. Right.
And they're the choose your own adventure novels, aren't they?
Yeah, right. Like,
I'd love it if you made something like that.
I probably will one day. Yeah, I would quite enjoy that.
But all the choices are really horrible,
And the first one I wrote, called The Red House, which it will be that name when it comes out. It starts off with, I realised I was a sodomite. It's set in the old times, you see. I realised I was a sodomite when I was 5 years old, and it's because once I went taking photographs of a protest around Trafalgar, and I ended up in London's oldest gay pub.
Right.
And I got talking to a guy there, and he said, I realised I was a faggot when I was 5 years old, and I was raped, and I loved it.
Fuck yeah, you have told me that story before, and that was chilling.
Yeah, that was chilling. Yeah. So, I guess things like that. I mean, he didn't rape this guy, did he? So,
no, it was all consensual.
No,
but
I mean,
it's obviously
statutory rape.
Yeah, but
oh well, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, yeah, it's just. I guess he was kind of tricked. Sort of.
Kind of, because the guy Reggie, he wasn't like a predator. Well, it wasn't predatory, I suppose. I mean, you never really know, but he was not, as far as I could tell, a dark-hearted person at all. I mean, I'm sure like this is something that he has kept buried up with so much fucking regret. I mean, it's just like, it was just so fucking unfortunate for that dude. And this is the point where his marriage was dissolving. His son was now suddenly estranged. I mean, I almost wept for the guy. I really did. He had so much against him. Oh,
welcome to the light-hearted comedy podcast.
Yeah, I know.
The Boisterous Brothers. It's time for the news.
Oh.
Hello, the Boisterous Brothers. This week, the Queen of Britain and Northern Ireland and various other places at one time or another didn't die, circumventilating many unspoken expectations. Michelle Obama gave a brief and stoic farewell speech as she prepares to leave the White House and take up a part-time job in Home Depot to tie her over in between bridge games and tea with the Bushes, but not Billy Bush. Also, a senior Israeli diplomat threatened to take down British Foreign Office Minister Alan Duncan in what is being perceived as a jovial threat or seriously bizarre statement of attraction. Yours reportedly, Lieutenant-Colonel Anonymous Bilgewater.
This is a crossover episode wherein Frasier receives a psychiatric evaluation from Mr. Monk. This episode explains that Mr. Monk has gone into hiding after the discovery that his former boss was Buffalo Bill. Mr. Monk hides, assuming the identity of the Indian man from Johnny Five, who died under circumstances not elaborated in this episode. Frasier revolts at Mr. Monk's criticism of him and burns Mr. Monk's earthly possessions and outs Mr. Monk as Mr. Monk. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Monk is not seen again.
So, that is the Frasier episode with Mr. Monk.
Mr. Monk, yes.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, I never really figured out how to
Tony
pronounce
Shalhoub. We're just doing Jimmy from South Park.
Tony shit.
I have a little song about Mr. Monk. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, why not? Let's fucking bring this mood out the fucking dirt.
Okay, but you need to give me a bit of a beat with your mouth. No. You got to give me the Monk theme tune, right? Right?
I can't remember the Randy Newman one. You talk about.
Well, I'll sing it and you hum along.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Do you know Mr. Monk? Because that was the name of the show, wasn't it? Mr. Monk. It was the only show to win a Grammy for its intro music in its first season, and then change its intro music in its second season, and win a Grammy again in its second season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think Randy Newman was kind of I would say cheap shot, but definitely quite a safe bet for the second Grammy.
Right. So I'll sing it, right? So
okay.
There's a jungle out there. Oh no, that's the real one.
It's not very good Randy Newman impression as well. You can do better.
There's a jungle out there.
That's it.
You got a friend in me. You can really tell it's that guy as well. There's a clever, clean Mr. Bean. It's Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. Come on, hum. There's a clever, clean Mr. Bean. It's Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. He fights crime with Mr. Sheen. It's Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. Whenever you're alone, and you are quite alone, there'll be a Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. He fights crime and things with cloth.
You just kind of
bit, yeah.
Well, when you first kind of ran that by me, fucking listen to me.
6 years ago.
When you first pitched that, I always used to think of the fucking Freakazoid theme tune.
Yes, that's what it is. The Freakazoid thing is the Mr. Monk thing. That's da 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 da. Yeah, okay, you do that. All right, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. He's a clever, clean Mr. Bean. It's Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. He fights crime with Mr. Sheen. It's Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk. Wherever you're alone. Yeah, right. Well, that was fantastic.
Yeah, there we go. I think that covers that fucking segment. We're not gonna. We've clearly peaked. So if we continue on, we're only going to embarrass ourselves.
I think that we have violated many copyrights.
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck it. YouTube don't care. As long as I'm going to hide it. So Mr. Monk. I remember he is playing an Indian man.
Yeah. So talk about libelous fucking issues. Yeah. I think on paper it was supposed to be Indian, but it was quite an atrocious accent.
Quite an atrocious accent, yeah.
Sure, he can laugh, but can he do an accent?
Can you do an Indian accent?
Not at all.
I can.
Please to be bugly, probably done.
I can say one thing in a perfect Indian accent.
Go on.
You miserable bandicoot.
I mean, that was how I would I'd say like find my centre with this accent, but it's obviously fucking atrocious. But we would say that all the time.
You miserable bandicoot.
You miserable bandicoot.
Yeah. So he does an atrocious Indian accent.
Mm-hmm.
Right, can I ask you, is he kind of... Have they made him darker?
Yeah, that's just... Yeah, I mean...
I couldn't work out if like they just put a dim light on him or something, but he's definitely got darker skin.
Yeah.
There.
They
than he
might
does.
have like just a touch of the blackface going on.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean,
it's that because
there's hardly any Indians... hardly any Indians in America or elsewhere. You need a white guy to do it.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah, fuck you know. I mean, it's like fucking Johnny Five as well. Fisher Stevens in that, who plays remember his name, but Boogly Boogly guy. For lack of a
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, that is essentially the level his accent is at. Really.
But what are you talking about? Ugly Boogly?
Ugly Boogly.
Is that an Indian thing? Ugly Boogly?
No, it's just it's just fucking standard kind of Indian racism that
So, like, if it was a black guy, you'd say umbongo or something.
Yeah, I'd say like fried chicken and watermelon or something. I wouldn't say that. No.
Yeah, it's just the same as saying, "Hey, I'm Russian. I like the vodka." Or,
Yeah, this was
"Hello,
all
I'm English. I
merely
like the
for
vodka."
argument's sake. Merely for argument's sake. But I mean,
Crossed
he
so
was
many lines.
But he was another guy with an atrocious Indian accent. Who again they kind of blacked out quite a bit.
Right. You know what? I know who you mean in the Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Five movies. I thought he was Indian, but it's been like 10 years since I've seen them.
No, he's very much American, very much white American. You know?
Oh, is he? Yeah.
He was in Mario Brothers. He was one of the stupid fucking sidekicks. Was it?
Oh, he was Hail King Cooper.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's fucking rubbish, isn't he?
You love Mario Brothers, though.
I do,
You
but-
love him in the Mario Brothers.
He's the one thing that holds it back from a perfect score, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because
The
of
one
the
thing, yeah.
the baggage from Johnny Five, naturally.
Right. Yes. Because it's a perfect performance in Super Mario Brothers. It's just the baggage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
With
like
the cultural baggage.
it's like having Mel Gibson in a film about the Holocaust.
Mhm.
He could be excellent in it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's got that baggage. And I think that we probably have now as well, thanks to you.
Yeah. No. Not what are you talking about?
Well, thanks to me.
I'm trying to just wipe my name off this as fast as I can.
So what do you have to say about Tony Shalhoub in Frasier? He's not very good.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's kind of feel like Frasier should have been a bit smarter than that.
Well, going on to Mr. Monk then. Yes, Frasier should have been smarter. That is the through line of Frasier. Going on to Mr. Monk. Mr. Monk, it's not called Mr. Monk, is it? It's just called Monk. He's the guy, he's the detective whose gimmick is he has to clean things. He's got OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got any sort of OCD? Just wanking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
And racism.
I don't really call that a disorder. I just call that compulsive behavior.
It's not a disorder. It is if you're doing it on the back of a bus.
Yeah, that's another story for another. Well, that's not really a story. I wanked on the back of a bus. There you go, people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did. Well, okay. Wow. Jesus Christ. So I always thought I'd like to marry a woman who was like that, but really easygoing with me making a mess.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have both, right? You can't have sounds very out of date, but you can't have a housewife who is very, very clean and loves cleaning, but doesn't mind you making a mess. It's either someone who kind of is okay with you making a mess, but they're not going to clean up either.
No, I think what you want is someone that's really clean, really organised, but is also well up for getting pissed.
Right. So
Or
kind of
something that you can.
Yeah, well up for getting pissed. Yeah, but I don't know. That's kind of a highly strung thing. I mean, what we're really getting to here is our idea, our pitch, the sitcom of the century, Wifebot.
Wifebot, yes. More to come on that later.
Join Hieronymus Swash and Mamo on an exciting adventure in 40 Million Leagues Under the Sea, Part 3.
I'm not sure I like this, boss.
Why do you say that?
I don't understand why these trapped scientists didn't try and get help from someone other than you.
How dare you? I'm perfectly competent, thank you very much.
I meant like the army or the state police.
Well, they're probably very busy. There's a war on, isn't there?
I imagine there is some form of conflict.
Well, there you go. The army are probably training somebody else's police force they previously disbanded. Look, there's the blast door Dr. TV told us about.
Believe in.
I'll say. These doors look like they could withstand the blast from a wagon full of dynamite.
Look, a porthole.
What can you see?
Nothing. Just the blackness of sea. No light at all.
Well, that was pointless then, wasn't it? Just paint a bit of the wall black if that's what you want. Look, here's the override.
Wait, we need to work out what we're going to do about the security measures inside.
Security measures inside? Jesus, Mau Mau. You know those buffiness types. It's probably just a couple of lasers and landmines. Maybe a pressure plate with a machine gun.
Intruder.
What the hell is that?
Destroy all intruders.
Jesus Christ!
It's a robot, boss.
I can see it's
Destroy
a robot.
the
How do we turn it
intruders.
off? It's going to be upon us any second.
Hey, robot, fire over here.
What are you doing, Mau Mau?
Look, it cracked the porthole.
So what?
So you smash it and use the
Destroy
water
the
to short-circuit it.
Short-circuit it?
Yes, robots are allergic to water.
No!
Yes.
Destroy
Over here,
the
robot.
intruder.
Shoot over here.
Break, damn you!
Come on, robot.
Cease movement for lasering. Danger.
We better seal up the porthole, Mau Mau. Quick! You get its legs, we'll block up the hole with this metal man's head. There, got it. Good job, Mau Mau. But how do you know that robots don't like water? Are they made out of cats or something? That would explain a lot. So damn shifty.
I just remembered the bath and the rub toaster.
Ah yes, the case of the Fried Duchess. Come along, Mau Mau. Through this section, I guess. Keep an eye out for more technological skullduggery.
What's that?
Sounds like someone's behind this door.
That isn't the way to the commander's quarters, boss.
Enough geography. Someone might be in peril. Get ready to clunk another robot with that pipe over there, Mau Mau.
Ready, Swash.
Oh my.
Hold it, robot.
Damn it, Mau Mau. Can't you see this is a beautiful flesh woman?
Oh, goodness.
Take no notice of my monkey.
Kitty Fox. I was trapped in here by that awful thing.
I had no idea scientists could be so beautiful.
Oh, you.
Oh my god.
I was trapped in here. Have you seen the others?
Yes! We have to get to the commander's quarters and stop that madman.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe Miss Fox should stay here.
Nonsense, Mau Mau. I'm sorry about him. He's from the jungle forest and doesn't know how useful beautiful women can be in a tight spot.
Oh, you're so brave.
I mean, we don't know who she is. She could be working with the commander.
Silence, Mau Mau. That's no way to speak to a lady.
I wish no offense, madam.
Oh, I'm so glad I was rescued by the Hieronymus Swash.
Come along, Kitty. And you. Let's go.
Join us next time for another exciting episode of 40 Million Leagues Under the Sea. So back in the studio we have Leroy LaToc. Take it away, Leroy.
Oh man, we are armor. I am in the monk. You fight crime by the night sky. Buffalo Bill, he ball, and the hair not leave, and the dog out too, and his brother Will, Tony Shalhoub.
This one's called Moment of Rest. Bert and Bert. Echoes of his voice ring through those moments when you lapse in consciousness and in being and touch an unknown ether, palpable to us since the dawn of time, eluding us until the vanishing point of our being. His name spoken in his unique tone, heard for a moment before sudden wakefulness. A whisper, a fragment, an entire conversation between you and he, muffled by conscientiousness. Your eyes drown him out. Your eyes obscure him. Your mind thinks him into non-existence. But he is, and will be, at some place, at some time, and as all things, real, somewhere. Ernie, you think, you say, but you can't take it back, Bert. You can try almost anything, in this life or the next, Bert, but you can't take it back. And you will think of other things, and then hear a child's laugh, or the gurgling of water down a bath's drain. The thud of life, or not, will be your moment's rest. And that's from Dimitri in Naples. Thank you very much for that, Dimitri. So, we're back in the studio, and we have the research in. It's It's come in. We know what Babycham is now. Babycham is a Perry. Do you know what a Perry is?
No.
No. Damn.
Join us next week.
A Perry is essentially a cider, but it's made out of pears.
All right, okay.
And Babycham was this pear thing that was made in the 60s or 70s. It was invented and sold. And it was, usually poured in wine glasses. And it was fucking shit from what I've been led to believe.
Right, well, that
There you go.
I'm glad you kind of went off a tangent in the intro there, because that was not
People need to know what Babycham is. Fuck off.
Most people probably do. It's just we're out of touch.
Most people don't know what Babycham is. Most people have
Well,
never heard of
we
it.
still got it up on the screen there. What have we got for the Jamaican singer? I mean, this is a little bit.
The Jamaican singer. What does it say there? What are you talking about? There's a Jamaican singer called Babycham. I bet she's not just a singer. I bet she dances as well.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
What? Why? Why? So we were talking about neurosis. The neurosis of Monk and the neurosis of his cleaning. Now, we both know that you do not clean yourself or others.
Well, definitely not others.
No, definitely
and I'm
not
not
others.
that strict with myself, no. I have had a shot today, though. I'm very proud
You
of
had
that.
a shit today, did you say?
I have many shits many days. But no, I had an actual shower today, yeah.
Right, like a baby shower. Do you have any neurosis? I imagine you do. I used to know someone who, this guy, he used to be a cameraman, and he would say that everyone's a little bit OCD. And he would say that because he would stack coins and things like that. Like he knew he had it, but he kind of made himself feel better by saying everyone has it. I don't have it at all. I can live in shit. And do.
Yeah, I've heard so many people say this, that, and the other. Whenever they get a little bit neurotic about something, I'm just a little bit OCD. It's just a little touch of my...
Yeah. I don't think it's a disorder if you're just a little bit, right?
No, because, I mean, they clearly don't understand what OCD actually fucking stands for, obsessive compulsive disorder. And what they're talking about is just either obsessive behaviour or a little bit compulsive behaviour.
Right, but not to the point where it is a problem for your life.
No. I've never seen, genuine OCD in real life. But from what I can gather, it's a truly debilitating disease.
Yeah, I remember reading about a woman, in a local paper. Like, it was someone I kind of vaguely knew. It was a woman who, their parents were inviting people, anyone who knew her, they were inviting people to her funeral because she'd killed herself by having showers 18 hours a day for a year. And she'd got this septic thing, and
Christ Almighty!
Yeah, I mean that's obsessive compulsive disorder, right?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that is nuts. I've never heard that.
Yeah, right, and that's what it is. Maybe that's an extreme, but it's stuff that gets in the way of your life.
Yeah.
It's not just going back and thinking, "Oh God, did I leave the cooker on? Did I leave the gas on?" It's
that's
doing that
prudent
20
thinking,
times.
yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, I've never seen it kind of in the flesh. I've only seen it on TV,
Right.
But not anything presented as fact. It's usually fiction. But even so, some of the representation where they're being quite earnest, and I always have to take it with a pinch of salt. If it's American TV, it still looks pretty fucking rotten.
Yeah. Well, what have you seen?
One of the bits, one thing that really got me, and I know you'll fucking give me a slap for it, was in Scrubs, because they had Michael J. Fox come in and do a cameo on that.
Oh yeah.
And he was supposed to be a surgeon that was OCD, and everyone was kind of praising the
Michael J. Fox, a surgeon, eh?
Yeah, I know, that's a bit risky, a bit dicey.
Yeah. Because he's always going off on these adventures, time traveling. And
That's it.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, it's the episode is centered around him and how he's a fucking hero and this, that, and the other, and how whatever his disease is probably beneficial to a degree. And there's
What?
just
Did you just say that him having Parkinson's is beneficial to a degree?
No, in the context of the show, they say that he's got OCD, nothing to do with
I
Parkinson's.
see.
He's looking really kind of jittery, so they kind of, I don't know. I think they picked him for a reason. But there's there's a shot where they kind of see him for who he is at the end of the episode, and they're looking through him through a glass partition that he can't see, and he's just going in and out of the room, switching the light on and off to switch it off the right way.
Uh-huh.
And it's quite a long, protracted shot while he's just going in and out, fucking sweating.
Yeah, right.
And I know it's a fucking schlocky piece of shit TV show, but that's just one of those things that really one of the things I remember about that show is actually really kind of knocked me for six a little bit. And I'm not saying that's what it must be, but I'm sure.
The really sad thing about Michael J. Fox, Well, let me rephrase that. You know, the really sad thing about me is Michael J. Fox is like 60 and he has Parkinson's and he isn't very well and he still looks fucking younger than me. But what about you? Do you have any neurosis? Because I don't consider you neurotic. But then again, I am on a different plane of neurosis. I'm not neurotic like Woody Allen, right? I'm not like, oh, do, and like checking the door or anything. I'm neurotic on a really nasty, deep level. Okay, then, so you were going to talk about video games.
I mean, that was just like the first indication of like neurotic behavior when I was a kid. I mean, like, RPGs were like a lot of stuff that I would play through.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, but it's not just that. I mean, I would be essentially quite a completionist about a lot of things and would like farm things in like quite a robotic way.
Kind of like maybe the best example of that, I don't know if you played it, would be Minecraft.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for anyone who doesn't know what Minecraft is, I think it's the best-selling single game of all time or something like that. Like, it's not the best-selling franchise, but it's the best-selling game. So it's very, very up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for like 7 or 8 years and people are still
playing it.
Jizzing themselves over it.
It looks like Lego, and essentially you can mine different resources like coal and gold and silver and stuff, and you can build a house. There's no actual objective.
Yeah.
You just do it.
You just fuck around.
But there's a huge sandbox to do it in. But even so, I've seen people who've created things which must have required some degree of obsession.
Yeah.
Like
I even played it briefly, but that's the same goes when I would mine stuff. I would never do anything sporadically. It's like, I'll see what's over here, do this,
yeah, right.
this. And it would just be like these massive quarries basically, where it'd just be a huge...
Right.
Like perfectly square fucking area where I just harvest everything before I'd move on.
So like a game where you could, like an open world game where you could like explore, you wouldn't do that. You would just systematically go through it. Right. I don't think that is uncommon at all. I know exactly what you mean. Like I remember playing Fallout and I didn't quite do it like that, but I did everything.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing is when I played those games, the best part of those games is just going in one direction and finding something unexpected and it being like a proper adventure rather than doing what you're doing. And yet I still would do what you're describing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really mind it more as an adult because I guess because when I would do stuff like that, it felt like the most pragmatic way to do it. But I was more concerned like when I would do that shit as a 6-year-old, that's fucking weird. There was no kind of joy or sense of adventure. It was just... It's
like with those big RPGs, you can get like a guide. They call it a strategy guide, but it's nothing to do with strategy. It's just like it's not even the rules. It's just like an explanation of exactly what to do
at what time.
Yeah, you just follow the rules. You don't have to think about anything. You just do it. And I don't understand. Like, surely that just takes the joy out of a game.
Yeah, but I guess there's. I mean, the people that make that stuff, and I fully understand that there are a lot of people that kind of think and play games like me. Again, I would say that's quite obsessive behavior. I remember when I had Pokemon Red as a kid, I spent I had a save file that was like 250 hours, and I had absolutely everything that game had to offer.
Right,
on it,
and you must have done like the same things. Most of that must have been actually just repeating.
Yeah, not only that, I know I'd pinch my sister's Game Boy and like with his spare copy of like Pokemon Blue, and would trade, not with a friend, but amongst myself to kind of rack all this shit up.
So you would like use her Game Boy as like a second account to harvest things.
And the whole point was it was designed to be kind of like, social and that kind of stuff, but no friends. And I would, do it all by myself. Jesus, actually, now that I think about it, that is pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. I think that's pretty common, really. I mean, I think it's the same with you, isn't it? Nowadays, I don't really play games anymore because I just look at them and think, well, this is just work. Mm-hmm. This is just, the same thing over and over, really. Once you kind of establish what the game is and you work out how it works, it stops being fun. And now that I'm not a kid, that's pretty easy to do.
No, I can switch my mind off. I find for me, it's just a question of I just get a lot of guilt and remorse when I play these things,
Because you play them for hours, right? I mean, they're designed to suck away hours.
Skyrim was definitely the worst for that, because 6 hours would melt away without you fucking realizing, and then you'd have to be like, holy shit, I was supposed to achieve something today.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, run some kind of errands or do some kind of fucking chores.
So you would just not sleep that day? It's like,
No, I don't really sleep. I just sleep in filth. That's why. That's why I am who I am now.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who play computer games who like piss in buckets and things like that.
Oh.
I told you about the guy. There was a guy who I used to know, who was obsessed with World of Warcraft, which is a game you play online with other people, and you know, it's like fantasy shit, right? And it looks fucking remedial, but apparently it's great. I don't know, whatever. But he would play it and play it and play it, and he was part of this clan, you know, and they were the top on the server and whatever. And when the new one came out, like the expansion, he played it for 20 hours a day. The only time he wouldn't play it, he would be eating or shitting.
God
and he would be
almighty.
complaining about migraines all the time, like flashing lights and stuff. And I think it was like flashing lights he would get when he wasn't looking at the computer.
Right.
Like the computer now was what his eyes were used to. So when he would look away, that's when it would start to be painful, right?
Fuck.
But the worst thing is when he was in the flat on his own. I didn't live with him, but I knew him and I knew people who lived with him. He was in the flat over New Year's Eve on his own. And I asked him what he did for New Year's Eve. And he said he got up, left World of Warcraft at 10 to 12. He made himself a cheese sandwich, which he ate on the toilet.
Oh my God, this man sounds...
And then when he got back to World of Warcraft, it was 12:05.
Oh...
He spent New Year's Eve
on the toilet with a cheese sandwich, man.
And you know it was just bread and cheese.
Yeah, like those Kraft singles, that plastic cheese.
I don't know if it was that. Probably not.
Squeezed cheese?
Stop bringing people down with your cheese just because you love your shitty cheese. Oh, cheese whiz.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? That is kind of weird.
Yeah, if
like,
you
who
just
the fuck
cut out...
was he playing with?
I mean, if you just cut out the World of Warcraft, either side of that moment, I would say that would be pretty fucking dynamite. That's how I would do fucking New Year's.
Yeah, this is from Damian, who one New Year's Eve I spent with him said to me, "Let's power drink at 8 o'clock." Started drinking 3 beers at once. He was in bed by 11:30.
Yep. Yeah, that's
in your clothes as well. You were fully dressed
and covered in quite a bit of vomit as well. I'm pretty sure.
Oh God. Well, there you go. On that note, thank you very much for watching The Boisterous Brothers. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, where we film all the stuff, and the YouTube, and I saw a ship. I've done that bit. And if you want to download this, you can download it from SoundCloud. There's a link in the description. There's a link to YouTube in the description as well if you're not on YouTube. I'm not going to put a link to YouTube in the YouTube video. That would just be...
No,
I might as well do it now.
Yeah. You might get a couple of extra views.
Please click the link. Do you have anything else to add? Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Guess.
Stay fairly groovy, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't.
Stay groovy, but not too groovy.
Yeah. Don't out groovy us. That's a good rule of thumb, I think.
Yeah.